Hey guys, so welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lillian. If it's your first time stopping by, you're definitely welcome. So if you're a new subscriber, if you're a returning subscriber, if you're a viewer and you're not subscribed, subscribe down below. All the same, you guys are all welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be talking to my ladies and gentlemen out there, and I'm going to be talking about 8 things that is keeping you single. And this video is going to be geared towards those that are like kind of want to get married, but yet they still find themselves single. Now, before I actually make this video, I'm not an expert, but this is just like my personal opinion, and yeah, so with that being said, let's get right into the video. So the very first thing that's keeping you single is unpreparedness. You're not prepared, basically. And let's say, oh, before I actually continue, I want to say being single is actually a choice, and being single is a beautiful thing. There's nothing wrong with being single. When we even talk about the Bible, there's a lot of people in the Bible, Paul, Jesus, they were single, and they actually worked in their ministry, in their purpose, in their calling. Being single doesn't stop you from achieving anything. But I just wanted to talk about this because there are some people who, they have the desire to get married and things of that nature, but yet they find themselves still single. So I just want to talk about some things that may be keeping you single, and these are things that you can easily work on. So with that being said, let's get it right into the video. So the very first thing that's keeping you single is unpreparedness. Now, you may desire to be single, but are you actually prepared you may desire to be in a relationship or get married, but are you actually prepared for marriage? Are you actually prepared for being in a situation? Because I feel like before you get married, you need to be mentally prepared, emotionally prepared, physically prepared. I really think that mental preparation does a lot, like in terms of like emotionally and physically. I feel like once you're mentally prepared, that actually helps you in a lot of other areas, because if you're mentally prepared, you're mentally prepared to share your space with someone, and you're mentally prepared to maybe have like a few disagreements with someone. You may be mentally prepared to like be financially responsible for someone else. It could be your children, it could be your spouse. You guys obviously work as one unit. So are you mentally prepared? So that preparation is important. A lot of people are still single because they find that they don't like the idea of being in a relation. Like, it's not like they don't like the idea of being in a relationship, but they can't really function with someone else in their business, or so close to their or so close to everything. Some people are really, really private individuals. So having like a second person being in your business, want to know everything about you, sometimes that can be very, very uncomfortable. So that could be one thing that's keeping you single. Now, the second thing that's keeping you single is, which I feel like it should even be number one, but I put it on the second thing, is unhealed trauma and negative/toxic mindset. Now, this is a big one because most people, they have walls, because of past or previous experiences they've had. It could even be like experience such as like child abuse, domestic violence in their home. Let's say as a child you experience your parents, your dad or your mom, go through like domestic violence, and now you're actually having troubles getting married because you're like, you don't trust men. I don't know how men are going to act in this situation, this, that. So that could be very, very that could be one thing that's actually keeping you single. Not only that, like even previous relationships, maybe your previous partner did not treat you well, he didn't treat you with respect. It can even affect your self-worth. So as a result, you find that whenever you get into a relationship with someone new, or you're preparing to get married and things of that nature, you lack trust. You can't trust this partner because your mindset is just, oh, I mean, someone has done this before, how can I trust this person? Or you've developed like walls, so and that walls can just, someone cannot, it's difficult for you to open up to somebody. So unhealed trauma, negative mindsets could actually be a reason why you're still single. With trauma comes a lot of other baggages, so let's not even, so trust, lack of trust, just bad attitude, yelling, raising your voice, being authoritative. You want to be in control of everything. You want to be in control of the situation because you don't want any guy to take you for granted. Yes. So yeah, unhealed trauma. The third thing I want to say is bad attitude. Now, this bad attitude may not be as a result of unhealed trauma, but I'm just going to give an example. I've seen a situation where a guy and a girl, they were actually in a relationship, but this guy, I think he does like something illegal. I'm not really sure what he does because obviously I was just an outsider looking in. I don't really know what he does, but um she recorded him doing, I think maybe he was doing drugs or something. I don't know, actually I don't know the details of this story, but this is something that I've kind of witnessed from a distance. And she took a video of him like doing like drugs or something of that nature. And whenever they get into an argument and he wants to break up or whatever, she's like, oh, you can't break up with me, I'm gonna call the police on you, I saw you doing this, you're doing these drugs and doing that. So they basically have like business together, and their business is not a solid, trustworthy business, that now she's using that against him anytime an argument comes up. So she's basically in control of this guy's life and this guy's destiny. Let's just put it that way. So bad attitude could prevent you from getting married, because in the end, someone that has sense would be like, nah, I can't end up with someone like this who's ready to tear me down. So with that being said, let's go to the fourth point. The fourth point is low self-esteem. Low self-esteem could be as a result of, what, guys, I actually think I'm gonna make a video on low self-esteem because I actually do have a lot that I want to talk about in this department. But yeah, with that being said, I'm just gonna talk about it a little bit. And a parent, like when you have parents that rejected you as a child, this could cause low self-esteem because you don't know your value, you don't know your worth. When you have like, you've been in a relationship, or you have like a previous spouse or something who did not value you, was so disrespectful, it could lead to low self-esteem, because in your next relationship you just feel like, yeah, you're not really good enough, you just want a relationship, that kind of stuff. Or environmental causes like workplace, school. There's certain people who have been through like workplace trauma, or they're in toxic environments, so that's really affected their self-esteem. So low self-esteem could also be the reason that you're still single, because sometimes people see it and they just like, someone can be like, well, I don't want to be with someone who doesn't really value themselves, who doesn't know their worth, things of that nature. So yeah, that's also another cause why you're still single. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'm actually gonna make a separate video on this topic, so watch out for that video. It's gonna be coming soon. The next thing that I want to talk about that's still keeping you single is lack of proper communication skills. Now, basically, aside proper communication, sometimes you guys may speak different languages, meaning that you may be saying the same thing, but you're speaking completely different languages. So understanding your spouse's love language, the way they communicate, the way they speak, is very important. It's also important that you don't even make assumptions, because there are sometimes that maybe a guy may be projecting what he's thinking on the lady, meanwhile the lady is not necessarily implying that, and vice versa. So there's also a situation where a lady or a guy can be telepathic, expecting. I'm just going to give an example. Oh, this guy's supposed to bring flowers in bed for me every Saturday morning, and you haven't really expressed this feeling to this guy, but yet you just want him to do this. So how's he going to know, So I feel like lack of proper communication skills and not understanding your partner's like style of communication can keep you single. The next thing I want to say is lack of proper foundation. So basically, a lot of people, they use physical attraction to determine like if they're going to be with this person or not. They kind of forget about the emotional and psychological aspect of a relationship. So it's kind of like you're doing biology before doing like chemistry and physics. Okay, I just wanted to say that out there. But yeah, just making physical attraction a foundation for your relationship is so is not the best foundation. Basically, it's probably going to end up in ruin. And I'm not saying attraction is not important. Physical attraction is definitely important. I feel like most people, they start off as being physically attracted to each other before they even develop friendship, or it could be friendship first, physical attraction. There's no particular order in which this happens, but I feel like you need to also have like some type of values, principles that align together with each other, rather than just physical attraction cannot sustain a relationship. Basically, that's all I'm saying. So that will keep you single. The next thing that I want to talk about is you don't give grace to your partner. Or I also want to add power struggle to this as well. So when I say not giving grace, and power struggle, you always want to be in control of the situation. Basically, you have to understand that in a relationship, this is like two people, especially in a marriage, two people coming together as one. So what does that mean? These are like two people from different background, family background, cultural background, depending, like no two families, even if you guys share similar culture, you still have different backgrounds. Your parents style, lifestyle, personality is completely different from your spouse parents like personality. So it's important to give grace to your partner. And yeah, just know that we all come from like different backgrounds. People make mistakes. So giving grace does not necessarily mean accepting toxicity or like violence or aggression. You should have like certain principles and things that you stand on. You don't want to compromise like yourself, your identity, your principles, just because you're trying to give grace to the other person. Then obviously the 8th point I want to talk about is timing. And the Bible says there's time for everything. So yeah, it's just not your time, basically. So keep working on yourself. Keep taking care of yourself. Focus on your wellness, your purpose, your gifts, your talents, your calling. Focus on those things. Don't just get distracted. Or I mean, like, yeah, it's good to desire things like marriage, but if you haven't found the right person, then why stress out? Why stress out? So yeah, keep working on yourself. Timing is important. And the other thing I want to say is you just haven't found the right person. When I say right person, you haven't found someone who matches your personality, your style, and things of that nature. And I feel like that's something that you should pray for. If you have like a specific desire, pray for it. The Bible says, ask and it shall be given unto you, seek and you will find, knock and the door shall be opened unto you. So with that being said, I'm gonna end here and I will catch you guys in my next video. Ciao.